Good evening. My name is Ted Scott. I'm a proud member and a proud board member of the Colorado Broadcasters Hall of Fame Committee. And I'm here to introduce Lee Larsen. Lee Larsen spent 29 years as GM of either Belo, J-Corps, or Clear Channel. Some people can't find a job. He couldn't find a company. Anyway, I had the proud pleasure of working for Lee from 1998 to 2010, and it was a fabulous experience, and I really admire him. And ladies and gentlemen, Lee Larsen.
Lee Larsen landed his first radio job while still in high school in the mid-'60s at KAPP Radio in Redondo Beach, California. He continued working there throughout high school and college. After graduation from Pepperdine University, Lee Larsen advanced through several marketing, sales, and management positions in Los Angeles and San Francisco before deciding that his real passion was to work for a station with a strong news and sports format. So when he got the chance to come to Denver as manager of KOA and KOAQ, it was an easy decision.
I did not ever want to go back east. I love the West, and Denver was the West. So I made the best sale of my life, convincing my wife to move.
But it wasn't an easy job. Lee arrived just as the operations of the two radio stations was being separated from the television station they'd been a part of for so many years.
That took everything that I knew up to that point about being a leader and being a manager. Within about 8 months of me getting here, Alan Berg was murdered. That was a very, very difficult thing on very many levels. Well, the things I'm most proud of are, first of all, the people. If you have good people, you want to keep good people. You want to grow them and you want to keep them challenged, but it's management's job to always replace great talent with more great talent. One of the things that I enjoyed about working with this group of radio stations is that there were a lot of long-term folks that had been with their particular radio station or with our group for a long, long time. It feels real good to have stepped into originally one radio station, seen the group grow to 8, see all of those radio stations remain strong and profitable and successful. Having the major league sports on the station also helps. Quite expensive, but at the end of the day, it's a big plus.
Lee Larsen was chosen twice to serve as president of the Colorado Broadcasters Association. He founded the Never Forgotten Fund after the Columbine shootings and served on the boards of the Denver Metro Chamber of Commerce, the Convention and Visitors Bureau, and Denver Bronco Charities. And tonight, the Colorado Broadcasters Association is proud to induct Lee Larsen into the Colorado Broadcasters Hall of Fame.
I assume I'm in the old guy category? I want to apologize to begin with because I wrote this brief acceptance speech with artificial intelligence. My own, not the modern stuff. I used my own. Listen, I'm so very honored to be included in this first class of the Colorado Broadcasters Hall of Fame, especially alongside the other honorees, all of whom I had the pleasure of knowing or I have long admired, and who are all very deserving of this recognition. You know, I had the privilege of enjoying a 50-year career in radio, almost 30 of those years here in Colorado. And all of the time that I was here in Denver, I was in management. I kind of considered myself similar to the conductor of a symphony orchestra. My job was to bring together the best performers in every area, stand in front of them and wave my arms as if I knew what I was doing. Then I just listened to the beautiful music or the beautiful talk or the beautiful news or sports that they made. I got to work with some of the finest on-air broadcasters that have ever worked the Denver airwaves. And the same can be said for the people that I worked with in supporting roles in programming, promotion, accounting, and sales. And my proudest moments were seeing the people that I worked with succeed and in many cases move on to bigger roles. As I think back on those people, I can tell you that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for them. I think also of the many other broadcasters that I competed with or somehow interacted with, so many of whom belong in this Hall of Fame, including several in this room and a couple at my table. I started at a small FM radio station in the 1960s when AM radio was dominant. It was the king. FM wasn't even on most radios. In my career, I saw FM become dominant and AM decline. I saw the creation of things like UHF television, cell phones, cable television, satellite radio, internet radio, computers, automation, and now podcasting. In other words, I saw nothing but change throughout my career. But here we are, 65 years later from when I started, and you know what? Radio and over-the-air TV still remain major factors in the media world. And just as I saw lots of changes in my career, I know that you too, the ones that are still working, face many challenges. And you're dealing with lots of changes and lots of issues, and you will continue to throughout your career. Broadcasting is a very challenging and difficult business, but fortunately, it's highly satisfying and usually enjoyable. I'm very proud of all that you do under these circumstances. Many of you will be in this Hall of Fame, and I hope to be here to applaud you. Thank you very, very much.